I woke up to a text from my dead brother. It was 3:33 a.m., and my phone buzzed on the nightstand. I was half asleep and annoyed, figuring it was just some random notification. But when I squinted at the screen, I froze. There it was, plain as day. A text message from my brother. Tim, are you awake? For a second, I couldn't breathe. Tim had been dead for 6 months. A car accident, instant, they said. I was the one who identified the body. And here I was, staring at a message from his number. Part of me wanted to believe it was some glitch, but something felt off. The room was colder than usual, and I could swear I heard faint static in the background, like the hum of a distant radio. I told myself it was just a prank, someone hacking his number, maybe. But that didn't make any sense. I hadn't touched Tim's phone since the funeral. It was in a drawer in the other room, turned off and untouched. I decided to respond, against my better judgment. Who is this? I typed, my fingers trembling. I waited, heart pounding in my chest. Seconds ticked by, stretching into minutes. Then, another buzz. You know who it is. My blood ran cold. It wasn't the words themselves. It was that I could hear his voice in my head as I read them. That low, calm tone he always had, even when he was messing around. But there was something different in it this time, something darker. I bolted upright and headed straight for the drawer where I'd kept his phone. My hands fumbled with the handle, my pulse racing. When I finally yanked it open, the phone was there, exactly where I'd left it, still turned off. But the moment I touched it, the screen lit up. Another text appeared. Why did you leave me? I backed away, dropping the phone onto the floor. The text stayed there, glowing in the dark room. I didn't know what to do, didn't know if I was dreaming or losing my mind. The air in the room grew heavy, suffocating. And that static noise, it was louder now, coming from nowhere and everywhere at once. I wanted to run, but my feet felt rooted to the spot. Then, in the corner of the room, I saw a shadow move. It was Tim, or at least, something that looked like him. He stood there, his face in the shadows, eyes glowing in the darkness. Why did you leave me? He whispered, but his lips didn't move. The voice was in my head again, filling it, drowning out my own thoughts. I couldn't speak, couldn't breathe. I could only watch as the shadow of my brother stepped closer, the temperature in the room dropping even more with each step. When he was inches from me, he leaned in, his breath freezing on my skin. I'm not alone, he said, his voice echoing inside my skull. Suddenly, the lights flickered back on, and just like that, he was gone. The room was silent again, the phone dark and lifeless on the floor. But that feeling, it lingered. I moved out the next day, left everything behind. But every night, at 3:33 a.m., my phone buzzes. And every night, there's a message. I'm still here.